It was announced just the other day that we set an initial goal to get our city's pavement condition index, which was in the 50s, up to our first goal of 60 and continue. Well, we're at 61. So it shows the pavement condition include 13.8 million on residential street improvements, 31.7 million in arterial streets and corridor enhancements. They're contracting out. Long Beach has been contracting in, and our public works team has been doing an incredible job. So we want to recognize our public works team for continuing the hard work of maintaining our streets. We're enacting key priorities outlined in the city auditor's street projects and pavement management performance audit. So we want to thank the city auditor, and we want to take her recommendations, and we want to continue to make our system better. Water main break may exist and get ahead of it. And so we are asking our technology, our utility services to look at future technology to see how we can prevent future catastrophes. We also acknowledge that the Elevate 28 capital investment program, which is $1 billion, will have been invested by summer of 27. So it's time to begin planning in 2026 for what the next 5 years looks like. So there's a recommendation to begin the early work of what does it look like to invest, what does the next billion or so of infrastructure look like in the city of Long Beach? How do we prioritize projects across our city and begin that discussion? We also, we want to recognize that we've done a lot of work on housing. We have a real opportunity to really advance and accelerate homelessness prevention in our city through Measure A. We saw that we've housed record numbers of people in our city. Becoming homeless to begin with, you're going to continue to see your numbers go up. That's just a fact of life. And so now with Measure A, we're in a place where we will be the first city in LA County to submit a Measure A plan focused on permanent affordable housing and upstream prevention. And so, that's right. So many of you did the work knocking on the doors to make this happen. This wouldn't have been possible without the adoption of Measure A. It passed with 57% of the vote countywide, but in Long Beach, it was 60% of the vote because we went out and knocked on doors, and we made sure we had conversations with our neighbors to ensure this was a priority. As a proponent of this measure, and as chair of the newly formed LA County Affordable Housing Solutions Agency, I'm proud that Measure A is expected, and we've secured more than $16 million annually to bring home to the city to continue this important work with a focus on prevention and permanent pathways into stable and affordable housing. And so we are proud to in new pathways to housing for everyone. These dollars couldn't have come at a more critical time, considering homeless student protections, budget challenges at state level. This funding in Measure A is allowing us to protect our city's progress and respond to newly vulnerable residents. And so we have to be intentional how we use these important dollars. These are limited populations. So based on data and national best practice, this plan focuses on 3 key populations. First, transition age and at-risk youth. If you can prevent young people from being homeless at that vulnerable transition age, you can prevent a lifetime of homelessness. That is as upstream as it gets. Secondly, vulnerable seniors. Based on the data, this is a vulnerable population where we can have the greatest impact with focused support so older adults can age with dignity. So that's a second area that we're focused on with these dollars. And then thirdly, we are focused on communities impacted by recent federal policy action. So this includes people now at risk of homelessness due to cuts to healthcare, financial assistance program, as well as residents impacted and families impacted by increasing immigration enforcement actions, which created economic hardships and pushed people to the brink of homelessness. So if we want people to have to make a choice between getting health care or paying their rent, or choose between going to work or the risk of potentially being separated from your families. And so we want to make sure that we leverage these dollars to keep our communities stable. With that in mind, that includes $1 million shallow rental subsidy program for older adults. This was introduced at the state of the city. A shallow subsidy program is essentially, let's say you're on a fixed income subsidy and keep you stable through that circumstance. And that way you can help more people who are maybe in that circumstance. So these are $1.5 million to the Tenant Right to Counsel program to provide legal assistance and tenant education. Keep people in youth are actually tied to our goal of achieving ending youth homelessness in Long Beach. And the first milestone is achieving functional zero, essentially meaning you have more capacity than your ongoing. We believe we can get to that first milestone with this plan in the first year. And so we'll be investing under crisis response, more than $2.5 million in support for emergency interventions for people experiencing homelessness, including continuing our community crisis response teams, interim housing operations, coordinated outreach, and mental health support. Under Pathways Out of Homelessness, there's nearly $8 million in support, which includes affordable housing production dollars. It means youth housing subsidies. It means technical assistance for we're making an impact on their lives. Over the past few months, we also have seen, as I mentioned, intense federal enforcement actions and other actions that have not only put people at the brink of homelessness, but we are a city that believes in belonging and equity and justice and all of those things. And so as we deliver our budget, we need to make sure those values are reflected here. So based on important feedback, we've now added measures into this budget to enhance resources and protections for local immigrant communities. This is our Defending Our Long Beach Values plan. This plan represents more than $5 million being made available to our community to prevent economic catastrophe.